Hey, my name's James Nicholson, and if you're watching this video, you want to know about the recovery loan scheme and what are the interest rates on those loans. Well, you're in the right place, but before we get into that, I just want to cover a few things for you. Please do me a favor. This channel is all about business funding and marketing, and I want to get the message out to more entrepreneurs and business owners and coaches and consultants just like you. So do me a favor, smash that like button on this video. It'll turn blue, you'll know it's done then, because that helps me greatly with the YouTube algorithm, and that will push this out to more people on YouTube. Now, look, the recovery loan scheme is a new incentive by the government, and during these difficult times we've had very good funding options. We've had bounce back loans, and we have had something else called Sybil's loans, and those have been very useful for business owners to protect themselves and to get funding that they needed to grow their business in these uncertain times. Now, those come to an end on the 31st of March 2021. So you may be watching this prior to that date or just after. And that is going to be replaced by something called the Recovery Loan Scheme. Now, the bounce back loans, the initial loans that we had, they were 100% guaranteed by the government. So there was almost no risk for the bank to loan you the money, because if you couldn't pay it back or your business failed for some reason, the bank would get the money back from the UK government, which is a good thing and made lending happen quite easily. Now, this new scheme isn't quite the same as that. The new scheme is that the government guarantee the first 80%, right? So just to make that simple, if you were to borrow £1,000 and for some reason you couldn't pay that back, then you would have, the government would pay back £800 to the bank, and they would lose £200. So still very low risk for them as a loan, but there is an element of risk now in these new loans. Now, because of that, the bounce back loans, the first phase of loans that we had, the interest rate was very low at 2.5%. Meaning for a business owner like you, it was almost nothing, because inflation should be around that sort of mark anyway. And so that is incredibly cheap. Now, these new loans, the recovery loan scheme, because there's more risk to the bank, the interest rate reflects that. And so with the recovery loan scheme, you're going to be looking at the headline rate they talk about is an interest rate of 6%. That's the headline rate, which Rishi Sunak was talking about. But they are capped at 15%. So they're not able to charge you more than 15%, which is still really good. Now, I expect when these recovery loan scheme loans launch on the 6th of April, initially there's going to be a little difficulty to get them. There's going to be bugs to work out, and they're not going to be the easiest things to get. That happened with the bounce back loans. So don't panic if you don't get one straight away. When the bounce back loans came out, lots of people got declined, particularly with HSBC, for example, and that was a difficult time for them to get those loans and stuff like that into their business. With time, that got figured out, and eventually it was a little easier. In fact, what also happened was the government came in and said, look, we'll guarantee 100%, because the banks weren't lending straight away. Now, with the Sybil's loans, which are the bigger loans, and they are the ones that also end on March 31st, they didn't have the 100% guarantee, they had the 80%, and so people did find it a little bit more difficult to apply for those. You had to do a little bit more proving that your business is viable, showing cash flow forecasts and accounts and stuff like that, and you didn't have to do that stuff on the bounce back loan. Bounce back loans, a lot of people clicked in their online banking, put how much their turnover was, put what they wanted to borrow, and the money was in the account pretty much the next day. We don't have that option this time, but this recovery loan scheme is still something that I welcome. I think it's a great scheme. And so having a loan into your business with a capped interest rate of 15% is good. It gives you that extra flexibility that now is the time to bounce back in business, and we need to have that option to get more funding for our business. And having this as a second round is great because you're not going to get all these options to borrow money as you previously could. So make sure you go and find out all the ins and outs on this recovery loan scheme. As I said, I've got two options. In the description, I've got a link for you to another YouTube video where I go into way more detail, the ins and the outs, who can apply, who can't apply, what's the deadlines and the length of time you can make these payments over. All that stuff is really important, and I want you to go and check that out. Not only that, I want you to go and check out the blog that I've written on this, right? So there's a link in the description to the blog that we've written all about the recovery loan scheme, and it's the most detailed blog that I've found out there on the internet, and I know you'll find it useful. So before you go, like the video, hit subscribe, and I've got a special gift for you. So around this video as well, in the description is going to be a link. You're going to be able to grab a copy of my new book, Expert Mastery. I want to give you guys a free copy of that. Now, loans are great and funding your business is important, but what you really need to do right now is learn how to get and keep customers. And so I've written a book, it's called Expert Mastery. You'll see a picture of it, will be up here somewhere on the screen. And that book lays out my business accelerator methodology. Everything you need to do to get and keep customers. Warm up cold leads, turn them into red hot buyers in days. There's a system for that I've developed over 17 years in business. Thousands of entrepreneurs just like you have done it, and I want to give you a free copy of the book. All you need to do is fill in your details, pay for the shipping, and it'll be with you this week. So that's it from me. I hope you found this useful. Comment below, let me know, what do you think about the recovery loan scheme? What do you think of the interest rates? What do you do in business? I want to know all about you. Do comment below. Let's get to know each other. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.